Live from the heart of Lincoln, America.
Welcome to Ticket Weeknights
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into the Niko Project, everybody. This is your host, Niko Schultz, University of Nebraska track team athlete and also YouTuber here on campus. If you guys want to go ahead, give me a follow on Instagram. The username is Niko Schultz with 3 Z's. Also going on YouTube currently, showing other student athletes and people in general how to get faster in the 800-meter run and overall build fitness and mental health. Today, I have one of my very close friends on this podcast with me by the name of Carter Hodge. Carter is actually an entrepreneur who is currently pursuing day trading. He's been day trading for about 6 years now and started his own course via Discord called Trade Block LLC. It's a free course you'll be able to join today. You can easily download apps like Webull and Robinhood if you want to get started and trade. Carter is super profitable so far in his Discord. He has about 75% win rate. So he's been making a lot of money through this Discord on trading and overall just finances in general. He's a guru when it comes to this type of stuff. He currently is trading for a marathon as well. So you can definitely tell what type of guy he is. On top of that, college student, same age as me, 21 years old, just trying to make a change here up in the world. So I did a podcast with him yesterday via Zoom. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to this podcast I had with Carter. So without further ado, Carter Hodge, everybody.
Okay. Welcome in 93.7 The Ticket. Here we are live via Zoom with the one and only Carter Hodge. Carter is an entrepreneur / online day trader where he makes profits and call outs on Discord throughout the day. He has come up with this audience of people who want to get smarter financially and people who want to see their assets grow within stocks, trading, and a whole other variety of different methods. Carter has helped me personally too. Me and him have joined courses together, broaden our horizons when it comes to finances, when it comes to trying to be successful. Me and this guy right here have taken a lot of losses together, but at the same time too, we are consistent. We are consistently getting better day in, day out. We love social media content and we know where we want to go in the future. So Carter, how you feeling about being on the show today? And go ahead and give us a little introduction.
Good, man. Thank you for having me. So I'm Carter. I've been day trading for around 4 years now, as long as doing some entrepreneur stuff. I've started up a fireworks stand business. I got about 5 in circulation right now, along with day trading and a lot of stuff just in Web3 and crypto in general, kind of diving into that like next level of investments and kind of the upgrade from Web2, just really making an audience, trying to bring it more to normality to people. It's a really hard subject to get into, but I've just been really working on mastering it and helping people out getting interested in it. So that's what I've been kind of working on.
Heck yeah. My question to you is, how do you mitigate the risk and the stress when it comes to finances? Finances obviously is a touchy subject for a lot of people. And when you're making these call outs, obviously sometimes they're not all going to hit. The market is super unpredictable. With all of your experience, how do you handle the pressure and the stress of potentially losing more than you're winning?
So to kind of mitigate these risks, I would say, so our main way of trading through the Discord, it's through options and futures. We recently had Apex Funded Trader. It's a company that kind of sponsors our Discord. They actually give out funded accounts. And what that means is they'll give you a $25,000 or $50,000 account. And if you pass an evaluation challenge, you can actually trade live with that money and take the profits. So that's the route that I go with kind of the beginners who haven't really taken much financial loss before. It costs about $30 to $40 per account. And it kind of shows them the vision of, okay, if you're trading with this larger amount of money, you can only lose that $30 or $40 that you put in, but it really opens up your eyes to how much profit truly can be made. And it gives you the opportunity to make thousands off of that $30 to $40 investment if you trade strategically and kind of join the Discord. But I think losses in general, as I've been trading over the years and as I've been investing, losses are really what define a trader. So all traders can take those wins, show the profits on the story and everything, but it's really the traders who can post the losses and suffer the drawdown and the market doing what they didn't expect. Those are the only ones that really last in the area. So I really came around mastering the art of losing, becoming comfortable with losing money, and just kind of not being emotionally attached to the positions that I take in the market. Those are kind of the big steps that I would take towards suffering from financial losses at the start, because I mean, if you ask any professional trader or any trader that's been doing it for, I'd say, longer than a year or a couple months, they've all taken big losses. Everybody's had like account resets and drawdowns to the point where they think it's not possible and where they think it's a scam and it's not real. But each one of those is a stepping stone and like a building block for your skills that you'll learn trading. So
One
That
thing I
would be
like
my
about
advice.
you, one thing I like about you and your Discord too, man. I mean, you've been doing this thing for over 6 years, and the cool thing about your Discord is with all that experience that you have, it's completely free at the moment too. If you guys want to join Tradeblock LLC, it's as easy as downloading Robinhood and listening to the call outs, doing the options, and just taking his advice. He even has in his Discord as well different YouTube videos on methods of how to get started, the actual basics of what it means to be a day trader. And I gotta ask you as well, with all that you're balancing right now, you're obviously a college student. We're the same age. We're both graduating in the year 2025. You got internships, you got school, you got a bar job that you're working, and on top of that, you're making these trades and call outs. How do you balance this going on with all your life? And you lift too. You work out, you keep your body right.
So balance has been the biggest struggle for me this semester. I'm currently in 17 credit hours and I got about 20 to 30 hours a week at my internship. And then most weekends are spent working at the bar, as you said. It's a decent job. It keeps me from going out. But I'd say about 20 hours on the weekend at a bar. And I am lifting and training for a half marathon right now. So with so much on my plate, the only way I really stay together is I started at the beginning of the year. I do like weekly updates on all my goals and all my requirements that I have for this year. I kind of do like a weekly update. I plan out my schedule. I make sure I have time for everything, stay organized. It's definitely been a challenge for me over the semester, but I'd say just scheduling, having a calendar and organization have been some of my biggest tools to kind of balancing everything and staying locked in because one thing goes down the drain, it's just a tumble roll down a hill because everything's going to start falling. Like you miss one test, you don't study for, and then your grades are going to suffer, and then you're trying to catch up. And when you have such a packed and busy schedule, there's no really room to catch up. If you don't plan ahead, you can kind of get screwed. So I'd say, yeah, just planning out with the calendar and making sure before every day starts, I write down everything I need to get done and make sure it happens.
Yeah, I agree. And rolling back to that Discord that we mentioned earlier too, go ahead and give a breakdown on what that's like, how many people are in it, how does somebody sign up, and why should somebody join Tradeblock LLC?
So for the Discord, I started up in January. I made everything absolutely free. I wanted to kind of build a community of traders who could come together and talk about strategy. So you can actually find it. I mainly use Twitter and Discord. If you go to my Twitter, it's tradeblock underscore LLC. You'll see a link in the bio. I'm sure Niko will attach a link or something to this post, but how it works is you join. I have a channel for how to start options trading and a channel for how to start futures trading. And then every morning, me and my man Adam, who trades with me on the Discord, we go live from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So a lot of people who have questions or who are just getting into it, they'll join the stream at 9 and they'll ask away. And I also set up one-on-one meetings with traders to kind of help them set everything up and kind of fully expose them to what they're getting into. It can be a tricky subject at first as there's so much information pushed and a lot of people are trying to get you to buy their courses and pay the subscriptions and everything, but we just wanted to keep it free and open to everybody so that you can kind of learn how to get started and see if it's really for you because the profits come from the trading, not from the subscriptions.
Exactly, exactly. And go ahead and drop your win-lose percentage of profits and losses so far.
So pulling it up here, I in the Discord, I actually have weekly recaps dating all the way back to January. Right now on the year, we're trading about 79%. And in the last 6 weeks, we're trading at 87%.
Wow.
We are up. If you were to take one contract at all of the entries, like I have the past couple of weeks, we're up around $10,000 since the start of March.
Okay.
So we're still working our way up from there. But our biggest win on the year is 1,120%. That was on one of our callouts. It went from $100 to like 100. I think it was 1,120 bucks. I think it was.
Right.
But we've been kind of it's up and down per week. Some weeks are 100%. So we had a 4-week winning streak. So we did not lose for 4 weeks straight. And yeah, we've taken about 170 plays so far this year. So everything's been going decent. We're consistent. And I also post every single week of trading in trade recaps, which you can verify with my alerts that I send and Carter's alerts every single day. So there's no messing with the numbers or correcting anything. It updates weekly.
That's amazing, man. You've built such a strong community too. I mean, everyone's active. Everyone in that Discord wants to get better too. And I feel like this would be a pretty good time to shout out what we have coming up this next Saturday as well. Next Saturday at the Royal Grove, I'm going to be promoting a music event, a party called the Post Game Party where tons of people are going to be there. And we have a variation of different sponsors. And Trade Block LLC is actually one of our sponsors. So Carter and his community will be pulling up to the function. But I got to ask, Carter, why did you decide to go ahead and sponsor our event, the post game party, next Saturday, April 27th?
Oh, I mean, it looked awesome. I mean, if you're down for anything, I'm in it with you, man. We've been through the ups and downs together, like you said, when this Discord started. And I love the idea. I'd actually thought of the idea of doing an event like that before, but I've never acted on it like you did. I saw you were ambitious, looking to get after it. And you've helped me out a lot with content. So I thought this would be a pretty good idea to get everybody together and kind of show them what we're about and have a good night while we're at it.
Let's do it, man. It's gonna be the biggest party of the year. I'm excited for you to be there. I'm excited for your community to be there. And nonetheless, I'd love to talk about the importance of investing early and about the value of compound interest. Obviously, when you start and you're a teenager, you start a trashy job, right? You're probably at a fast food restaurant or some type of a retail chain, the Walmarts, the Targets, right? And you're making $15, $20 an hour if you're lucky, right? Talk about the importance of investing a good amount of your paycheck when you're in the 16, 17, 18, anything about around 18 to 25 years old. Why is that so important to invest young versus starting later when you're making more money?
So I'd say I'd actually choose a different route than most investors will say. Everybody says the compound interest and everything will build up if you start when you're younger. But I think just the plain idea of starting an investment and starting looking into your future at such a young age is something that so many people skip over and they don't think about. I think just the fact that you're putting some money into stocks once a month, even into the S&P 500 or into another ETF, Nasdaq, or even I put all my profits into crypto. I'm a
Right.
firm believer in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Lion.
Exactly. And so I think that just the idea of investing in assets for your future at such a young age, especially when you're like you said, you're working those $15 to $20 an hour jobs, you're probably barely making it by in college, but if you're able to scrap an extra even $100 a month, it reaffirms in the back of your head that there is a bigger picture in the future and that once you graduate college, you'll be just that step ahead. And that step ahead might be the difference between you getting a house and renting for a couple years. And that little step builds on because if you get a house, you're saving more money every single month. Plus, you own an asset. So you have an asset to take a loan out on instead of not making that decision and not being able to get a house. There's just one step at a time puts you so much farther ahead than if you just wait until college is over.
Exactly. And building credit too, I got to add on top of that is very important as well. Getting a credit card young and swiping that thing away and paying it off in full every single time. You're just slowly, next thing you know, it's going to be 3, 4 years down the road. Your credit score is in the mid to upper 700s and you're set up. You can buy a car, you can take out a loan. As you mentioned, you can get a house, which is a valuable asset down the road. Carter, so to go ahead and continue on with this podcast, man, where do you see your company going in the future? What do you want to do career-wise? Obviously, you have a lot of different skills when it comes to finances. You're very motivated, disciplined, and driven with the marathon going up. You started even a TikTok fitness account on top of all this as well, too. So you got a lot of different things going on. But where do you see yourself in the next 5 years with all of this?
So in the next 5 years, in the shorter term, some things that I see coming up with the Discord is we're actually holding a trade block university slash mentorship this summer. That's our big kind of next step. What we're doing is we're taking the really motivated traders out of the Discord and it'll be starting the first week of June and it'll be an 8-week course. So June through July, a lot of college students and everything will be on that summer break. They'll be working jobs. We're taking these traders and we're giving them all the resources to track their trades, to get better. We have a lesson every single week and it's going to be a big opportunity because we're kind of take them and turn them from the gap of being unprofitable, kind of bridging over to being profitable and learning what skills it takes to become profitable through our mentorship. So that's our big next step. But other than that, with the Discord long term, I do see us trading every single day. I'd like to, as crypto comes to the next bull run in 2025, I will be taking more out of it and having more capital. There's several different ways I could see us expanding the Discord. We could become into a bigger trading company. Obviously, that's why I want to see. But I may do trading more as like a part-time hobby and then branch into other aspects like NFTs, crypto. But there's so many different possibilities and ventures. I think we're just going to have to obtain the capital like we are right now and just see where it takes us. Just one step at a time, figure out what our next step is. And right now, our next step is that Trade Block University. That'll be starting up June 1st.
Right. Trade Block University, everybody. You heard it here first. go ahead and follow Carter on Instagram. As he mentioned on his Twitter, I believe it was tradeblock_LLC, correct? That's your Twitter?
Yep, that's correct.
Every single day, daily posts. Now, Carter, what makes a successful trader? What are the type of students that you want in this Trade Block University that you're planning on creating this summer?
So the type of students I would like is I always recommend that you trade paper, which basically means you trade with fake money while you're grinding at your job. Say you work at Chipotle. You work at Chipotle or you work at Subway, you work, and save up your actual capital. And in the meantime, you trade with the paper money, the fake money, as if it's your actual money you're going to start. So if you're saving up $1,000 to start trading with, open a $1,000 free paper trading account through a platform like Webull and trade for a month while you're saving up all that capital. Get the hang of things, figure out what you're struggling with, what's working for you, and kind of how to capitalize on it. All I really look for is drive. If a trader's driven and they see the vision, all I look for drive and consistency, because anybody can have the drive at the start. That's the first step. But if you're consistent, even when you're losing, on learning, on figuring out, and just kind of bridging over that gap of losing money, turning to making money, you will be very successful in the game. And I'll tell you, I've had some days where I've made more than most students will ever make in college, and I've definitely had days where I lose more than a college student will make in his 4-year career. So there's definitely a lot of adversity that comes with this profession, but I think just mitigating risk and kind of hanging with it, staying consistent, always never having excuses, just keeping your head down and keep working. That's all I can really say I look for.
How do you get over that? The biggest loss. I mean, you probably made more than any college student can lose, and the opposite, like we said, lose more than any college student would ever probably ever lose. Like, how do you mentally get over that hump?
So it's always going to be a mental loss. I had recently I had a bigger loss this last week, and what I did to get over it was I kept my same schedule. Even though I lost after trading, I still went and lifted, still had my run. I just closed my phone, closed the markets for a day, and just took the rest of that day to just face that problem that I had, face that loss that I took. And then I went back on that night at around 9 or 10 p.m. I looked what I did wrong. I looked how I could have changed it, and I looked how I could have limited my risk more. And then I changed the next morning. We hopped right back on, clear it from my head, and we were back at it. We took another win. And so it's just not emotionally getting attached to your position and just letting yourself recover from it. I think you should face it head on. I think you shouldn't avoid your big losses, but it definitely takes a couple losses to kind of get used to that feeling. But it's part of the game. I mean, can't win every trade.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a video where a lot of traders talk about their money not even being viewed as money, is viewed as more or less like tools in a toolbox, going ahead and utilizing those tools to bring you to where you want to get into the future, like a final project, as if you're building a house or something like that. Because if you look at every single dollar, you're emotionally are going to be all over the place, right? You're going to keep on losing money. You're going to keep on gaining money. You got to stay level headed when it comes to trading because, like I said, it's a very risky game, as you mentioned before, about mitigating risks and enhancing your abilities too. I mean, you're always watching the best of the best too. I know you're a big guy on YouTube, and you're always just studying, just training the mind to be better. I mean, it's hard waking up every single day following a disciplined schedule, but when you know where you want to go into the future, especially with you as a young entrepreneur, nothing's gonna stop you. And like I said, I love that you mentioned that too about not getting emotionally attached to every single loss because you want to open up your own LLC this summer when it comes to Trade Block University, right? And you want to help other people make money. I just think that's great for you as an entrepreneur, and I'm super glad that I was able to have you on this podcast today.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. Well, Carter, man, if you have any closing remarks for the fans out there, for the viewers, go ahead. Again, shout out your Discord, shout out your social medias, and where people can find you to join this free Discord and make money today. Literally, it'd be as easy as today.
Yeah, so again, I'll pull up the Twitter. It's tradeblock_LLC. That's the Twitter. We have a link tree in the bio, capital T, capital B for the trade block. Click on that LinkedIn. I also post on my Snapchat story a lot. You can get in contact. It's Carter_Hodge36. I'll add you the trading story. Hit me up if you got any questions. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you having me today.
Of course, Carter, of course. Well, as I mentioned before, everything's going to be down in the bio and the description on where you can find Carter, how you can follow him. And like I said before, join his Discord. You are not going to be wasting any time. It's going to be nothing but profitable knowledge for your future. Don't make your future self hate you. Start investing today so that in the future you're able to kick it back when you're 60, have $1-2 million in the bank, and just cruising on home. So Carter, thank you so much.
Sir.
His company, Trade Block LLC. I wish you guys nothing but the best. This has been Niko Schultz on 93.7 The Ticket. We're out. Thank you guys.
Pre-order your Hog Wild slow-smoked Easter ham today. Hog Wild selects the highest quality whole ham and slow smokes them until they're tender and delicious. Our 100% boneless ham is approximately 4 pounds and $50. Pre-order online at GoHogWild.com. Quantities are limited. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
At Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino in Lincoln or Horseman's Park in Omaha, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
For over 15 years, Integrated Life Choices has empowered individuals with disabilities in Lincoln and throughout Nebraska. They provide comprehensive services from group homes and independent living services to job training, ensuring fulfilling lives for those that they serve. Now, they're inviting you to join their mission. If you're passionate about making a difference in the lives of people with developmental disabilities, explore rewarding career opportunities with them. Learn more about their services and apply today at www.ilc.net. Be a part of Integrated Life Choices, where your work truly changes lives.
Imagine a healthier, more active, physically fit version of yourself. If you've been putting off getting into shape, now is the time with the Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping 10-Week Challenge. Our program combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to help you achieve your fitness goals. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the enrollment fee. The next challenge begins on March 23rd. You can get all the info at fxblincoln.com. Don't wait any longer. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Cover more acres with a pre-owned sprayer or planter from Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer. We offer one of the area's largest selections of used sprayers, applicators, planters, and seeders. Through the month of March, take advantage of fixed-rate financing as low as 3.9% for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest waiver. Visit your local Landmark Implement location or view our complete sprayer and seeding inventory online at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Spring is a time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Furious Cheese Spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter, or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Furious Cheese Spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Drinking and driving causes serious harm to friends, family members, and loved ones. In 2021, 65 people were killed in Nebraska by a car crash involving a drunk driver. Do not drink and drive. By drinking less, you can still be here for your loved ones. If you or loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Brought to you by Nebraska DHHS in partnership with SAMHSA.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Brought to you by the original Super Glue. Stop by your local participating Westlake Ace Hardware locations for your $10 savings coupon. Restrictions may apply. See store for details. Coming to Pinnacle Bank Arena March 29th and 30th.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is the Niko Project live here every single Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. I'm your host, Niko Schultz, member of the University of Nebraska track team, entrepreneur here on campus, and I also have a YouTube channel by the name of Niko Schultz where I help promote and teach other athletes how to become faster in the 800-meter run, 400-meter run, and if you're just the average runner, how to overall build your fitness and mental health. I love going on these types of journeys that always are working towards self-improvement. When I first started running, I hated it very, very much so. My dad back in the day was a very fit guy. He's a very fit guy now, but back in the day where I had nothing to do with sports and I loved just playing video games and playing outside, my dad would go on these 2, 3, 4-mile runs and have me tag along with him. And I hated it. I hated it with a passion. But as time grew and as I started getting older towards middle school and high school, and I saw that sports here in America was a very competitive thing, I wanted to become the best at it. I'm a very competitive person, and I feel like I get that from my family members and growing up in a competitive neighborhood, as I mentioned before, with all the sports. And so growing up, we built a gym in the basement. My dad, he loves doing projects inside the house. And so he had a choice. He could have either built an in-home bar or an in-home gym. And him and my mom decided to build the gym. And I believe that was the best ROI for the investment on the house because it obviously produced a D1 athlete. And my little brother, he's following my tracks here shortly. He's also a track and field athlete up in Illinois, up and coming in the 800-meter run as well. So growing up, my upbringing was just straight sports, athletics. And as you can tell, I'm a very talkative person. I love getting to know people. And as of last night, I went to the NLE Chopper concert here at Pinnacle Bank Arena inside of Lincoln, Nebraska. And I had an amazing time. But I also had my personal vendetta too when I went to that concert. So next weekend, as you all know, I'm throwing a fundraiser / party event. I'm promoting a music event at the Royal Grove from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. where we're gonna have 2 DJs on set by the name of D Wayne and Montez. So the way it's gonna go is from 9 p.m. to 11:30. D Wayne is gonna open us up, and then from 11:30 to 2 a.m. Montez Beats is gonna bring us on home. And in between, we're also going to have 2 food trucks posted up on the outside, too. I'm a big supporter and advocate for local businesses here in Lincoln, Nebraska. So I got 2 food trucks, one by the name of Soul Food Cocina. It's in Havelock, Nebraska. If you guys want to go check out, they have some amazing food, pulled pork sandwiches, burgers, fries, whatever you can name that has to do with soul food. It is there. It's extremely delicious. And then Morales Tacos. You can find them kind of near what is it, Pine Lake, I believe is the area code around there. So we got 2 food trucks posted up outside of the Royal Grove. So as you're coming into the party and wanting to see the music event, you can go ahead and get yourself some tacos, get yourself some soul food, fill up before going inside the club, and then get home safe that night. So we're going to have some special guests in attendance that night too. So I hope to see every single one of you guys there. But back to the story I was saying, I went to the NLE Chopper concert, and Montez was performing before NLE that night. It was one of his biggest gigs up to date as a DJ. And he actually gave me a shout out and said that next Saturday, catch me at the Royal Grove. Shout out Niko Schultz. And I happened to get it on video as well. And D Wayne was the guy who introduced NLE Chopper to come out that night too. He was promoting his own radio show and all of his sponsors. And D Wayne is going to be at my party as well. So I got 2 very big superstars that are going to be in attendance next Saturday here at the Royal Grove. And I got a promotional video dropping tomorrow. So definitely stay tuned on my Instagram. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I have over 4,000 subscribers where I post similar content. The name's Niko Schultz with 3 Z's. So go ahead and give me a shout out, a follow on Instagram. And like I said before, the post-game party
be there or be squared next Saturday, April 27th at the Royal Grove, right off of Cornhusker Highway. If you're here in the downtown Lincoln area, it's about a 4 or 5 minute drive. It's right there. I'm going to be there. Friends are going to be there. Come and have a great time. So transitioning from topic to topic, I know I've talked a little bit about this promotion of this party, but I want to talk a little bit about this YouTube journey and stuff like that, because I was watching a YouTube video this past weekend, and it was the art of boredom. And it sounds pretty basic and it sounds pretty funny, but it was a very moving video to me, because I feel like in today's generation, you can't go to the bathroom without taking your phone. You can't sit in silence without trying to distract yourself. In today's day and age, we're in the era of always having something to do. We are the most non-bored generation in all of mankind. If you go back 100 to 200, 300 years ago, our ancestors and the people before us had nothing. All they had to do was books, communication, and they honestly had to sit in silence with their thoughts. But that's where the most innovative ideas ever came from. The theory of gravity came about because he was sitting under the tree and then the apple hit him in the head. And that one singular discovery literally was the reason that we found out that we revolve around the sun. And it's crazy to think that just because he was sitting under a tree, that his theory of gravity changed everything. It changed the way that we approach science. It changed everything in history. If you take away that moment, society doesn't look like how it does today. And so obviously that's one crazy idea. But think about all the people that have took advantage of their time. If you can take control of your time, you can be anything you want in this life. And I'm a firm believer in that. A lot of people during the COVID 2020 pandemic, they either utilized their time or wasted their time. And during that time, me personally, I decided to get a D1 scholarship here at the University of Nebraska. I grinded more than anybody I knew just to get here in this moment. And a lot of people, some people use it as the opposite. You know, a lot of people had their lives set up, and then as soon as this pandemic hit, they kind of played victim to it. You can't play victim to certain things in life. And as I'm going back to the theme of this topic, is that the art of boredom. You got to learn how to be able to sit in silence with your thoughts. It's very scary sometimes. Obviously, we're always doing something, right? We're always driving. We're always on our phones. We're always listening to music. We have our AirPods in. We're not looking up. We're trying to avoid communication at all costs. We're just trying to stay busy. But if you ever want to figure out who you really are, just sit in silence with yourself from time to time. You know, go on a walk, do certain things, read a book, and just sit in silence with your thoughts. And you never know what ideas could come up. You know, procrastination is one of the life's killers nowadays, right? Because you don't want to do a certain assignment, you don't want to get something done. But at the end of the day, all we have is ourselves, in our opinion. I mean, if you really think about it, I mean, if you can't live with yourself, if you can't sit in silence with your own thoughts and stare yourself in the mirror and be proud of the human that you're becoming, you got to make a change in your life. And one of the books that really, really influenced me was the book called Atomic Habits. Atomic Habits for me really helped me get over my procrastination and negative thoughts. It taught me the effects of compounding interest, whether it's with time, whether it's with money, whether it's with just your activities in general. If you want to cut out any bad habit in your life, there's so many different methodologies in order to just break a cycle. If you have a bad cycle of some sort of addiction, if you have something in your life that you want to change, definitely go ahead and pick up that Atomic Habits book. And I'm not much of a reader. I try to read. I force myself to read because I don't like to do it. I'm a person who's always trying to find the next best thing to push me past my competition. And so reading, I've noticed that a lot of successful people that I follow are readers, even if they don't want to read. And so communication is key. Learning how to communicate your words, learning how to articulate your words. I'm currently in the process too of learning Spanish. I know I'm kind of rambling on just about who I am, but for all my new viewers out there, this is a little introduction. I'm learning 2 languages at the moment. Obviously, I'm enhancing my English more and more as I'm a talk show host, but learning Spanish. So my mom is from Puerto Rico, and she came to the United States around when she was 9 or 10 years old. And then she had to learn from scratch when she was like in elementary school to middle school how to learn English. And so she obviously knew Spanish because she's been doing it for 10 years. All her family members spoke Spanish. But me, when she came to the States and had me, Spanish wasn't at the top of the priority list. It obviously was raising me, raising the child, going to school, going to work, and making money and providing. So once I got to college and I realized how much of a valuable asset Spanish is, I'm doing currently everything in my power to make sure I know the language and try to get immersed in my culture. I'm half Puerto Rican and half white. And learning a new language is extremely difficult. I know us Americans think we have it easy, right? We think we're the best in the world. And when somebody comes from a foreign country to our country, we think that, oh yeah, they have to learn English, force them to learn English. Learning another language is extremely difficult, whether it's Spanish, whether it's Dutch, German, Russian, French. It's hard. It's hard, especially to get rid of an accent too. If you've been doing something your entire life
and then having it flipped on its head and having to communicate. It's scary. When I went to Puerto Rico this past December, and I've been practicing Spanish for over 2 years. I have like a 600 to 700 day streak on Duolingo. I'm thinking I'm that guy, right? I go to Puerto Rico, they're speaking a million miles per hour. I'm trying to translate everything, and you can get humbled really fast. But simple conversations and knowing just the basics can get you farther than you know. I've been able to talk to people in their first language, their native language, and it pays dividends. I'm trusting you don't really know somebody unless you are able to speak to them in their first language, because you can't really communicate that well in your second language. Even if you're a very good speaker, it's very difficult. So if you do want to learn a second language, the hardest part is getting started. I think the quote goes one day or day one. So go ahead and start that up. But that is what I got here for this first segment. So I'm going to go ahead and send us back to break, and you'll catch us here in about 5 minutes for this final segment. This has been Niko Schultz on the Niko Project.
Spring often marks the beginning of severe weather, which can lead to power outages. LES wants you to be prepared before the storm. Restock your emergency kit, update your info with LES, and if you encounter an outage, report it at les.com/report.
Spring is a time of new beginnings and trying new things. If you haven't tried Fuhrer's cheese spread yet, the time is now. For parties for St. Patrick's Day and Easter, or celebrating the NCAA tournament with friends, there's no better dip to bring everyone together and celebrate something from Nebraska. Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fuhrer's cheese spread. No event or party is complete without it on your table.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. The last few years have been wild, but we've been here for you through all the ups and downs, and we'll be here for you when you need us the most, for all your travels and for your day-to-day driving. With winter conditions causing problems all over town, the last thing anyone needs this year is constant car troubles. Let us help you drive in peace and make sure you drive to work and to winter destinations safe. A1 Automotive, 11th and L Street downtown, always honest answers.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Service Ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Attention all Nebraska basketball fans. The NCAA tournament is coming soon, and Nebraska looks to be on its way to their first appearance in 10 years. Better Tree Removal wants to celebrate the occasion and any possible success in the tournament by offering a deal. If you're in need of tree removal on your property, call or text Todd by March 20th. If Nebraska wins the first round game, you'll get 25% off the bid. If they win two, you'll get 50% off. You must contact Todd at 402-780-1377 before March 20th.
Hi, folks. Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and the Chevrolet and GMC Truck Month is now underway. We've got huge savings in Louisville. Get $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months on select models. Yes, you heard right. That's $9,000 off or 1.9% for 72 months happening right now at Koppel. So take that short money saving drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G214773.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue.
Pre-order your Hog Wild slow smoked Easter ham today. Hog Wild selects the highest quality whole ham and slow smokes them until they're tender and delicious. Our 100% boneless ham is approximately 4 pounds and $50. Pre-order online at gohogwild.com. Quantities are limited. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Your child was embarrassed when you arrived at their basketball game. 75% of parents or guardians report current alcohol use. Drinking alcohol can cause harm to children and loved ones. By drinking less, your child will be excited to see you at their basketball game. If you or a loved one is looking for help, find a treatment facility near you at findtreatment.gov. For immediate support, call, text, or chat 988.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is your host, Niko Schultz, live here in the Niko Project, live every single Sunday from 1 to 2 p.m. Going ahead to close out this podcast. I'm going to be talking about my goals and aspirations for the rest of this track and field season. So as you guys know, track and field goes on from about December all the way up until late June, early June, depending upon how you perform. And so the way it's broken down is we have a bunch of exhibition matches, competitions throughout the season to get your rankings up, to kind of score things for the conference meet. The Big Ten meet is obviously our conference. And so we compete against other teams in the Big Ten. And then after the Big Ten conference game, it is... Oh, sorry. After the Big Ten game conference, it is the regionals match. And it's a little bit different than indoors. Indoors, it just goes Big Tens, then nationals. But then outdoors, since there's more competition, it's actually you go to regionals. And at regionals, it's the top 48 in your region. It's the West region and then the East region. And then you got to place top 12 in your individual event in order to make it to nationals. And so nationals every single year, it's at Eugene, Oregon. And so you take 12 guys from the East, you take 12 guys from the West, and then you have prelims. And then most of the time it's top 8. For the 800, for example, I believe they take 9. So you do prelims, you advance 9 to the finals out of that 24 that made it out of regionals. And so the people that didn't make it, they are named second team All-Americans. And then they have the finals at nationals in Oregon, top 9. And only 8 of those guys, 8 of the 9 who made the finals, are named first team All-Americans. If you place last at nationals, you actually get second team All-American, which actually is a bummer. But you do your best to place top 8, and you are first team All-American in contention for a national championship. So that's kind of how that works with outdoor track and field. I know a lot of people out there know of track. They know of the Olympics. Obviously, you know the big names like Usain Bolt. But when it comes to collegiate track and field, not a lot of people know the breakdown. So that's the breakdown of how track and field works in the outdoor season. And I've actually already qualified and solidified my spot for regional. So I'm super excited. This year is going to be in Fayetteville, Arkansas. So I got that to look forward to. And indoors, to break that down a little bit for you, indoor track's a lot more competitive. So at regionals, you have to do it that day in order to make it to nationals. I can be ranked number 1 in my region and not have a good day and not go to nationals. But the funny thing about indoors is my very first meet, I could already qualify for the national meet. I can already be at nationals within the first competition because it's only top 16 in the nation that actually end up making it to the to nationals, right? And so they take the top 16 times, you automatically advance. It could be at any place, anytime. I could literally be running 10 seconds slower than what I was originally running when I ran that original mark, and I still go to nationals. It's pretty crazy. It's 2 different worlds. So indoor top 16 to make nationals there, to get a first team All-American indoors is very difficult just because the standards are so high. It's the 16 people versus the 24, and you got to do it on a specific day. So track and field is crazy, and especially with the Olympics coming up too, there's been some new rule regulations. I think that if you win an Olympic gold medal, you actually get $50,000 cash prize, which sounds pretty good. But after taxes and different logistic factors, I believe it's only take home $37,000. But if you've been training your entire life and dedicating so much time, energy, passion to your specific sport, and all you got to show for it is a medal and $37,000, wow, the Olympic Committee brings home over $7 billion to $8 billion a year based upon your likeness, viewership across the world. It almost sounds better to be in the committee than it is to be the Olympic athlete, because you're over here grinding, sacrificing everything you've ever known just to get to this stage, just to get, in my opinion, allowed like this kind of chump change in a sense, right? And so obviously you get a gold medal. I mean, obviously, you're crowned and named the best in the world, but there's so much untapped potential financially, in a sense, where I think Olympians should definitely be eating a lot more. And even not even just Olympians, I believe pro athletes, because Olympians are the best of the absolute best. Less than 0.01% make it to the Olympics. And so many people are deemed themselves professional athletes after college, but people get very lost when it comes to that. I mean, there's people who are running leading times in the world, still mopping up floors at McDonald's, still working in retail stores, just trying to make ends meet because they don't have sponsorships. Nobody knows who they are, and they don't know how to market themselves because they're spending all their time and energy trying to make it to the Olympics and trying to make a name for themselves. And it's honestly a very difficult game. And shout out to my man Aaron Brown, because he's kind of showed me the way when it comes to promoting via social media and marketing yourself. It was pretty funny. There's this guy named Noah Lyles. He's one of the best in the world, and he has one of the highest contracts in track. And he makes a lot of videos this like talking about people, getting people fired up. And he made a video the other day. He said, I make more talking about Noah Lyles than Noah Lyles makes more than running for a track meet. And he literally showed his analytics on TikTok of him making upwards of $4,000 on one single video on TikTok that got over like 2 million views of him just talking about Noah Lyles, about him running at a track meet. And then I believe prize money at the same track meet Noah Lyles ran at was around $2,000. So it's pretty funny in a sense, because Aaron Brown, he's a very successful track athlete, but Noah Lyles is on another level, right? He's run like the third fastest 200 meter of all time. And it's just funny that this college kid who's running great times is also internet sensation, making tons of money via TikTok, YouTube, and even his own brands, his own brand, the Roll brand. And it's just crazy. It's just crazy the day and age that we're currently living in right now when it comes to social media, marketing, promotion. It's a different ball game, and something that our parents and the people before us didn't have to deal with. So evolve, definitely market yourself, know how to showcase yourself via social media. It's very easy to pick up that phone and start recording, and you just got to find your niche, find your wave, and the right people are going to find you at the right time. So with that being said, and without further ado, guys, this has been your host, Niko Schultz. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. And don't forget to go to the post-game party next Saturday at the Royal Grove off of Cornhusker Highway from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. I'm going to be there. Are you there? Thank you, guys. Peace out.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business